everyone, this is Sarah here, and today I have my what I wore this month for June 2017. There are lots of stories this month. First story, or it's kind of like facts about my period. I tend to bleed pretty heavy for the first 2 days, and then I don't really hardly bleed at all after that, but it's like gushy, gushy, gushy. And my daughter and I have started cycling together again. And she started her period like 2 days before mine, and I didn't realize it, but she stole all my huge giant fluffy pads. And so when I got mine and was in desperate need of, basically a giant cloud to put in my underpants, there weren't any. So I had to cup it a lot this month, and it was very interesting. Yeah, just saying. And this month was a particularly heavy for longer period, unfortunately. So, and I had to do this at work. So I have my Lena cup, sensitive. I overflowed because, again, this is like my third or fourth cycle now with the cup. I get it in position just perfectly fine. I have no issues with that at this point. It actually overflowed 3 times. I have not figured out when it's going to overflow. So thank the good Lord for these pads that I'm going to show you, because otherwise we would have had huge problems at work. This one, it seems like a liner. It's a front bleeder style. I got this in a stash from Ragamuffin, and like an idiot, I didn't screenshot a lot of these pads that I've gotten, so I have no idea who they're by or from or any of that. But this seems to be linerish. It's like a OBV sort of top and some fleece on the back. So if anyone can identify who made this, but this was highly important when I overflowed my cup. I also got this one on D-Stash. It's a kitty cat cloth. I think it's a Sittin' Kitten, they call it, and I think pink is moderate. Yep, because I overflowed onto this one too. So yippity skippity. And this one I bought with my own money from Venus Pads. This is Maggie the Mermaid. I think it's a 10.5 inch cotton top with fleece in the back. So I think this might be my favorite front bleeder style. I am a front bleeder, although I'm kind of like a moderate sort of front bleeder because I kind of bleed right here. So I don't need some extended thing that's huge and giant, but I do need something. And I felt like trying out the front bleeders with the cup because, I don't know, I wanted to try them out, but thankfully, thank goodness for them. They saved me at work. So I guess I'm just gonna go like liners to heavies or like smallest to largest now at this point. I use this liner. I forget who I ordered it from, and I just ordered it, and I can't even remember, but it's a liner, and this was a special group order in this adorable camping print, and I liked this shape. It's a 7-inch. It was pretty good. The shape was good. I liked it. I don't know if I've found my Goldilocks liner yet, but this is definitely awesome, and I just love the print on it. It's just adorable. I also used these 2 liners from Red Anchor Cloth. They're 7-inch as well. This one's in the 7-inch. They tend to flare a little bit too much somehow. I don't know. They don't sit in my underwear quite right. But I love her liners. So I might try to get an 8-inch or even a 9-inch, then maybe the flare will sit more appropriately in my underwear. I have a feeling these are going to make it to my daughter's stash because this is her favorite color and this has animals on it. So you may not see these once again. I also use this 7-inch liner from County Cloth Creations, and this is also a 7-inch. I thought 7 inches would be great, but I'm thinking probably 8 is better for me. This likely will also make it into my daughter's stash, and I'll order myself some new. This one fit a little bit better in my underwear, but even then it just starts flaring a little bit too early, I think, or something. I don't know. It wasn't Goldilocks, but I do love these ones. She makes a great liner. Then I used this 8-inch liner from Yurtcraft. Again, this one is a little bit better. I think the 8-inch is definitely a better thing. This is, I have it written down. This is one of her waterproof liners. I think it's a Sherpa PUL on the back. And it does have like a tiny bit of pore, I think. OBC, I think that it is. I do like this one quite a bit. So this one is staying in my stash. I will be hiding it from my daughter because she steals all my pads, in case you didn't notice. I also wore this Grayson Street Emporium. This is an 8-inch light. I love her pads a whole lot. This is absolutely thin, 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 thin. These are great for wearing under pants and stuff. Some of my other ones tend to be a bit fluffy for that. And I love the rabbits. I owned a rabbit for a really long time, and I love rabbits, so I love this print on it. I also wore this Hoo Hoo Rags light, and this is a very unique shape. It's also a light, although it's pretty thick for a light. I'm not sure I like this style so much, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, if I'm going to continue to wear it, or if I'll destash it, or if my daughter might like it, because that's always a possibility because it has animals on it. So we'll see what I end up doing with this one, but it's not perfect for me. I also have this cute little Sherpa pad. I love Sherpa. I have discovered Sherpa is like the best fabric. I mean, Minky feels good, but with the gushies that I have, Minky is not good. Sherpa is like there's nothing like Sherpa. So, and when I see Sherpa and a pad, I am like getting my wallet out. And this I also got in a destash, and I think, is this a ragamuffin with the skull? I don't know what absorbency it is. It's very, very, very thin. I'm thinking maybe a light. I mean, I wore it as a light. My daughter wants to steal it, and I keep telling her she can't keep stealing all of my Sherpa pads, even though Sherpa is now her favorite as well. It is a shape, so I may have to make a trade with her because she has a Sherpa pad that I want. So, and who buys the pads anyway? I do. Love it. I also wore this, which I love, and I ordered custom from City Bows. This has uteruses on it. I love it. And she makes this bat shape. This shape is absolutely amazing. I think this might be my favorite shape, which is, I know sounds, I mean, I guess some people make these shapes for a reason. They really, really work. This is a 9.5 inch. And snapped up it looks like this. So it covers all of the important things. It gives a little bit for front bleeders, but it also has the wrap wing here that's really good for a center bleeder. And the 9.5 inch seemed to do really good. I kind of bled in this area, so it seemed to work really, really well, and it wasn't too huge, so I could wear it out easily. So this was one of my pads of the month. Loved it. I also wore this 10-inch moderate from Red Anchor Cloth. You can tell hers because it has a red anchor on the bottom of everything. This is the Beach Cabana print, and I love it. Her pads are like just absolutely delightful. I really, really love her pads. I don't remember when I wore it or how I wore it. I probably wore it instead of a light because I just couldn't help myself because I love it so much. And it's so summery and adorable, and I love it. Did I mention I love it? I also wore this 10-inch from made by Panty Bling Reusables. I think she uses this is similar to a Juliet shape, which is also a fantastic shape for me. Like, this is one of my favorite pads. It's fleece backed of some sort. I don't know the differences between the different fleeces. I'm sorry. Because I am not a sewer and don't aspire to be. I pay other people to sew for me. And this is just this rose garden print is absolutely beautiful. And I think this shape is also really fantastic for me. I also wore this 10-inch light. It's a knit and of Bacon. Had to have this. I was so glad when I managed to get it because her stockings go like that. This one I believe I wore when I felt like I could potentially be getting my period. Sometimes I'll fling one on because I tend to get my period in the middle of the night. of all times, right? To get my period in the middle of the stinking night. So I wore this. I mean, it's a light, but it does a bang up job, let me tell you. This one I also got in D-Stash. I have no idea the maker. It is an exposed core with bell on it and of course fleece on the back. But I think I did wear this at night because my daughter stole all my night pads as well, all my overnights. So again, if you know who made this, then please by all means let me know in the comments. The exposed core worked really, really well. I kind of liked it, although you can tell it's there. So I don't have final judgment. I'm gonna have to wear it, I think, a few more times in different circumstances to see how much I like that exposed core, because it's, you know, it's like, it's not squishy. So we'll see. And my daughter doesn't like princesses, so she's not gonna steal that one. Yeah, I think we're to the ones I wore overnight. So overnight I did wear this one from Leak Freak. This is a 12-inch PK, and it is in the swanky flower shape. This pad is absolutely beautiful, obviously. I mean, look at this. I love the look of it, but this shape does not work for me. This is, even though I don't bleed back here, if I'm gonna have this much back there, I think it needs to be wider, because this was like shifting everywhere. It was like on one butt cheek, then the other butt cheek, and it was like thonging, and it was just not very comfortable. Which is really a shame. Although the work on it is absolutely beautiful and the print is beautiful, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet, because this just isn't really working for me personally. So maybe a D-Stash, even though I hate to do that, because look at these faces. They're so beautiful. It's really, really sad. Also on D-Stash, recently I got this kitty cat cloth. I wore this overnight. I'm thinking it's a heavy. Again, I didn't look to see. I think that means heavy. And it seems to be like an older type, and it's nice and thick and stuff. And because it's a boring color, my daughter didn't want it, which is great because I needed it, definitely. And this is definitely somewhere around the 10, I mean, this is a 12-inch, so I don't know, 11-inch, somewhere in there. I wore overnight. It was delightful. I loved it. Then I wore this pad thai cloth with Star Wars on it that I had. It is a 12-inch heavy knit top. I believe it's anti-pill fleece because I wrote down the specs for this one. I managed to get on a group order for this one. Loved it. It was great for nighttime. Absolutely loved it. And then last pad of the month is also a City Bose Sherpa. And this is a 12-inch Sherpa. I wore this at night. This thing was like there's no words for the awesomeness of this pad. No words. I have no idea what its absorbency is, probably a moderate. I don't tend to bleed a lot over the night, so, you know, it's all good. But this, like this. I'm in love with these pads, and if I see another Sherpa pad ever from her again, I must buy it. It just has to happen, because these are like, I mean, I know people love their kitty cat cloth, and I do too, but this, it's all about this. That was that, and I will see you all next month. I had filmed like more of a non-period wrap up, but things changed the day I was trying to edit it, and so there is no State of Sarah for this month. So hopefully at the end of the current month of June, I'll have a few more updates for you, although I don't know, this summer is kind of turning into just horror. So I will talk to you all later. Have a lovely day. Bye.